it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stay on this front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey, hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. Here we are. Man, we are, yes, that is the Duke. I'm telling you, Brenda put this together, she found that old clip, and I'm like, that is the clip. That's it. We love it. We go for it. Classic Americano. When actually Americans liked America, we actually stood up for the national anthem. We didn't have people kneeling and burning the flag and hating the country that gives us the freedoms that we cloak ourselves in, which is ridiculous. And that's why Every day I get up and I go, how many days we got left? What, 18, 19? It's unreal. And of course, the Biden administration is just making total havoc and chaos and Harris as they walk out the door. How can't you love the Duke? He's just, he was a symbol of America. He was a good guy. I mean, he wasn't perfect. Um, Joey, thanks for coming by, my friend. Like I said, when you guys come in, say hi, because that way I can see that you're here. Because other than that, I can't see you're here. Like I said, we got people on X, we got people on Facebook, we got people on YouTube. I can't see the rest of them because they don't report in through the system, but that's another story. But like I said, these people were symbols of America, and I think that's why the Republicans did so well. We could have done better, but we definitely could have gone worse. And because people are tired of the DEI lies and deception, they're tired of being treated like second class citizens, but we're expected to pay for everything. Isn't it funny how, like, oh, I don't know, New York, the mayor, Mr. Wackadoodle liberal crazy man, is shutting all his centers down. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. Well, we tried to tell you that a year ago, but you didn't listen. Hashtag told you so. Now we just got to get that crazy whack job in Chicago under control. And I pray that ICE and Homeland Security, that's their first stop. I really do, because this guy, I'm going to have you guys arrested. Yeah, let's see how that works out for you. What are you going to do? Send out your makeup artist out there with his brushes and rouge to fend off ICE? Hey, Gwen. Hey, Lance. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you guys. Hope everyone's staying home, staying warm, staying safe. Listen to the show and the antics of a guy out in Harbor Creek. So, we're days away. Mr. Graves, man, how's your neck of the woods? How's the weather out on your side of the county? East side over here in Harbor Creek, it's a little blowy, a little cold, that's why we're all staying inside. We got some coffee. Well, we'll talk for next hour and have some fun. Hopefully, we got a lot of things going on. Well, look what's happening in Canada, eh? I would have lost money. I'm not a betting man, but if I was going to put money on this, that he would not buckle. He wouldn't. I just had a sneaky suspicion that he wasn't going to buckle, because he's the leader of the Liberal Party and he's the prime minister. I thought he would hang on with a death grip. Matthew, thanks for coming by. Got the dream team. We got everybody here. Man, you guys have separate accounts. That's kind of cool. Get both of you in here. Snow is bad. Sorry to hear that. Be safe out there in West County, sir. We don't hear any problems. Speaking of whack jobs, oh, trust me, Stan, we're gonna get to that one. Because you know what? Go back on track here. We're on Trudeau. Isn't it funny how President Trump, it doesn't even have the reins yet. And listen, this is what we're going to do, Justin. We're going to do. He is changing the world before he's even sworn in. And these Democrats still pushing away. Oh, he's a convicted felon. He's going to get sentenced to jail in the 10th. No, he's not. It's just a legal fumble mumble thing. It's not going to, he's not going to go to jail. Sorry. I'm not sorry. You liberal whack jobs. It ain't going to happen. We hashtag told you so. I hate to say it. We were right. Yeah. So, Prime Minister Trudeau, there was some, he was going to retire, quit, whatever. And then he came out, I will probably this week, I will formally talk to the people that, hey, we're going to resign. Woohoo! Another big win. Hopefully, we can't think, I've been trying to think of something catchy to come up with for Canada. Because, make America great again, mega. Why can't we do something with Canada? So everybody put your homework assignment is let's pick up something catchy for Canada, like make Canada great again. We'll have to correct them on their bacon. They're their bacon's wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. We still like our brothers from the north, eh? But get this, I'm moving the wife to Greenland. Listen, Lance, before you do that, talk to my dad. When he was in the army, he was stationed in Greenland. I'm telling you, it's not that big of a deal. It is bad. It is cold up there. Brr. It's enough. But anyway, so I think Brenda, um, okay, cool. Yeah, Brenda just sending me notes here. Do you have the Trudeau videos ready to go? We'll just come out of the gate with those. Why not?
Tonight,
Since we're talking
deeply
about
unpopular
the
at home
former
because of soaring prices and ridiculed by President-elect Trump, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau bowing out.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
The son of a popular Prime Minister, Trudeau's movie star looks and photogenic young family made him an international star. But in recent years, he was criticized for inflation and immigration. 3 weeks ago, his closest advisor, the Deputy Prime Minister, resigned.
And it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
A final blow, tension with President-elect Trump, who threatened Canada with 25% tariffs. Despite Trudeau rushing to Mar-a-Lago to appease him, Trump blamed Canada for fentanyl and undocumented immigrants crossing the border, and Canada's trade advantage with the U.S., mocking him on Truth Social as a governor. Posting today, many people in Canada love being the 51st state. What's the impact of having a leadership crisis in Canada?
I actually think it probably smooths the relationship, since clearly Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau were not on the same page.
Trudeau will still be Prime Minister for a few months of Trump's presidency while Canada decides how to replace him. Lester?
Andrea, thank you.
Yeah. I love the comments, you guys, but Trudeau is a rough puppet. He sounds like a wimpy. Trudeau is such a woke loser. Not even sworn in. He's in everyone's head already. You can't make this stuff up. Well, you knew this was going to happen. Now, if we can just get the Mexican crazy people down there under control, let's make the whole continent great. Why not? Why do we have to have all these problems? Get that border wall up, get them under control, put the screws to them financially, because these American corporations have sold their soul to cheap labor. I watched a documentary about Chevrolet trucks. Now, watch the lawyers call me up and say I'm being mean. It was a documentary, a news piece, where they profiled a worker in Detroit. They actually made trucks in Detroit, and a worker in Mexico. Now, the worker in Mexico had a house, dirt floor, some barely running water, and he was doing good. The person, hi, Renee Newberry, thanks for coming by. The Detroit guy had a car, a truck, a boat, white picket fence, and those trucks still cost the same. The Mexican-made trucks aren't like, hey, if you buy a Mexican-made truck, it's $5,000, $10,000 cheaper. It's not. So what are they doing? They're just selling their souls to Mexico. Levi Stratus, one of the oldest companies in America, founded in San Francisco. Not one stitch is sewn in the United States. Carhartt jackets. I got an argument with the guy. Carhartts are American made. All right. Would you want it? We want to put lunch on it? I'll put lunch on it. I took off my Carhartts, my hoodie, flipped it over, showed him the tag. Carhartt, made in Mexico. So be very careful when you're purchasing these things at these American companies. They've sold their souls to Mexico. We need to financially put the screws to these companies and say, we're not buying your products out of Mexico because you are making more and more money. Corporate greed. And there's a lot of that going around. And I got no problem with these guys making money. They took the risk. They hired the people. They bought sewing machines. But yeah, well, of course Putin wants to sit down. They're already talking about how do we get out of this Ukrainian thing. And what does Sniffy Joe and Wackadoodle Harris do? Oh, we need to send them some more money. They got literally, well, how many days we got left? I'm sorry, I don't have the collar in front of me. They got literally days left, and they're still cutting checks to the Ukraine. It needs to stop. We, the people, can't afford you. We can't afford this crap going on the Mexican border. And thank you, Jesus, for the governor of Texas, for standing up, taking the federal government to court, winning, keep building the fence, and then Sniffy Joe and his people, what do? They sell the fence materials that we already bought and paid for. That belongs to us. They were selling it for below scrap value. Thank you for the Trump administration. 11 days. Was that 11 days already? Wow. Having fun. A judge says, stop it. Knock it off. You cannot sell that. That does not belong to you. You have no right to sell that. So, hashtag, told you so. Joey, yeah. Yeah. So, there's a lot of things going on. We got North America having their deal. Now, in a note of seriousness, change gears just a little bit. I really do feel for the people in California. I do. This is just tragic. This is horrible. Loss of property, loss of lives is going to be months till we actually know the answers to all this. Brenda and I were sitting here having dinner, and we went online and was watching some of these news reports, and I saw some satellite footage. You can see this fire from the satellite. So our prayers go out to the people in California. Hey, Brad, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, and then let's talk about Kamala Harris taking a farewell tour of the world as she's walking out the White House. I'm going to go on vacation again. She just got back from Hawaii after she got her booty kicked. So she had to go on vacation. And then she comes back and does whatever she does, swearing at the president. They kicked her booty. Come on. If you watch that, and Speaker Johnson was sitting back there, I can't even replicate his shit-eating grin. I posted on my social media a real small clip. It's a bad quality clip, but I tell you, that look on his face, I am so glad. I don't always agree with him. He's done some things that irritated me, but I think he's done a fair job. And look, now that he actually can move the gauge, I think as a speaker, I think he's got a good shot. And now we can get everything together. Let's get the border wall fixed. I don't care about this crap that the Democrats are pulling up. Oh, look at that. Trump wants to rename the Gulf. I could care less. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. What matters is get that wall built, secure the borders. Let's get these immigrants under control. And speaking of which, Brenda, you want to pull a clip up of our illustrious 159 communist Democrats that voted for a piece of legislation that should have been a landslide sweep? Nobody should have voted against this at all. To deport illegals that commit crimes in the United States. 159 Democrats voted against it. Now, which is a good thing. I think there was like 40 Democrats voted for it. And my God, I never thought I would speak these words on my show with my friends. Senator Fetterman actually voted for the Laken legislation. He voted for it. I'm like, what is upside down? What is really going on with him? I always say it's like he's like a computer. Yet sometimes when your computer gets an error, you unplug it and it reboots itself perfectly back. I think Senator Fetterman, in his weird hoodies and Carhartt sweatshirts and shorts, actually voted for this. He was one of the Democrats that broke ranks. Sorry, my nose just broke ranks and voted with the right piece of legislation for the right reasons. Not a D thing, not an R thing, but and this is why there's such division in this country right now. According to me, and if you guys don't agree with me, type in, call me, telling them wrong. But this legislation should have been a no-brainer. No-brainer. It should have passed. No big deal. Yeah, Fetterman had man, my nose itches. Sorry. So these are events that are happening. And Brenda, do you have one of those videos?
I do, but before I play it, I would like to play the other video that I was supposed to play for the Trudeau
Oh, go ahead.
resignation.
Yeah, jump in anytime.
It's only like a
It's
20-second
fine.
video, and then I will immediately go into the
Yeah, the
Lake
Lake
and
and Riley.
video.
That's fine,
video.
dear. Whatever you
Yes.
want. You're the producer. You're the one hitting the buttons.
Edition that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister.
Oh man, that's a good one, Brenda. That's a good one.
The House has just passed the Laken-Riley Act. This was a bill, of course, that was named after the nursing student who was killed by an illegal immigrant while jogging on a trail at the University of Georgia's campus. Let's get to Chad Pergram. He's got the very latest on that for us live from the Hill. Hi, Chad.
Sandra, good afternoon. Well, this is the first legislative action by the Republican House of Representatives. They just passed the Laken-Riley Act, as you alluded to. The vote on the House floor, 264 to 159. There were 48 Democrats who voted yes. When they passed this bill in March of last year, there were 37 Democratic yeas, so this goes up a little bit. This bill would mandate detention for illegal immigrants arrested for minor crimes. We do expect this to go to the Senate. There's bipartisan support for this in the Senate. John Fetterman, the Democrat from Pennsylvania, he has signed on to this bill as well. In the past hour or so, we've learned that Gary Peters, the Democratic senator from Michigan, who faces a challenging re-election bid in 2026, he has also signed on to this bill. Now, Republicans, they promised that they would crack down on the border. That was one of their big campaign promises last fall, and they're really trying to dare Democrats here to see if they learn their lesson from 2024. John Thune, the new Senate Majority Leader, he has said that he might have a test vote on this on Friday.
This blows my mind that we are even here tonight talking about this, that how 100 plus Democrats voted against to support criminals that have come to this country illegal, murder our citizens, U.S. citizens, and they'll be charged. I'm shocked they charged this guy, but they had no choice. They had no choice to do this. But we are not willing to. Hey, Matt, thanks for stopping by. I understand you're home. We're glad to see you back. That we have to force our government to make legislation to support us, we the people. We the people that came here as legal immigrants, legal, big key word there, and they won't they don't like to say it, undocumented this, blah blah blah. No, they're illegals. The minute they step in this country, they broke the law. In my opinion, they all broke the law. They should be reported, sent back. You get in line, take a number like everybody else had to. You people are not special. If you are from a country where you're being politically, threatened, political asylum. There are many avenues for these people to come to this country legally, like the rest of us for the last couple hundred years. Why do they think they are better or special? Because the Democrats have said so. The Democrats have told them that, hi, Linda, thanks for coming by, that they are special and it's okay to be smuggled in across the border, carrying whatever they carry, because we can't label them all mules and bringing fentanyl into the country. We can't say that. Tell me I'm wrong. And the sex trafficking debate, they will not address. They won't do it because we know why. Because You don't want to get fact checked on Meta, which brings up the next point. Isn't it funny how we have Donald Trump being sworn in here in a couple days, and Meta is starting to backpedal on their bullshit third-party fact checking. And it appears somebody wrote a nice check to the inauguration. Joe, you're absolutely right. We're all immigrants. Europe, Ireland, that's where my folks came from. They came here legally. Our ancestors came in legally. They worked hard. They assimilated. Uh-oh. I don't know who this is, so this could be fun. Stand by. Hello, this is Brian.
Brian Shank, how's it going?
My goodness, my friend, how is the inner city of Erie doing tonight on this snowy day?
Oh, it's just peachy.
Just peachy.
Yeah, I guess they had the old city council meeting, and you see who they elected as Presidente.
I saw that. Matter of fact, I have it queued up here from Erie News Now. The actual interview with Mr. Weatherspoon. At least we've got a moderate Democrat that actually is an old school kind of guy. You know, he come on, remember a couple years ago he threatened to take a guy outside. I mean, that was classic.
Yeah. I made a video on that one.
If you can find that, send it to me. We'll put it on the show because that was a great thing.
That one's on my Rumble. I got that up on Rumble. The video.
Yeah, but
I have I think I have mostly it's the audio portion, and then I put in my own little pictures and such.
No, you do a great job.
I can send that to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
I can send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link and we can download it, and Brenda can work with magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Witherspoon's the El Presidente. Now go ahead and tell him who the vice president is.
Oh, that's my main man, TT.
Yeah.
I sent him an email today.
Oh, did you? Did you get one back?
Yeah, I said I would have let me get it here. I'll give it to you verbatim.
Dave loves sending emails to his elected officials. He is
let me give you the one I sent. It's the only one I sent. Now, Mel, he's okay.
I got no
really
problem
was
with him.
Surprised he got it. I thought they would give it to Troop because Mel had it before. I believe he was president before at one time.
Right, but I think this is his last year.
Right, but I figured it'd give it to Troop because Troop never had it.
Yeah, I think this is like a farewell. Thank you, sir, for your services. Let's make you El Presidente
I think you're right.
I don't know. I mean, we Tyler and I don't talk anymore.
You and Tyler don't talk?
No.
Oh.
No, I know. He came to county.
Well, I'd like to talk, but he doesn't he doesn't respond to my emails. That's the reason I sent him the email. Let's see here.
He's a busy guy, man. He's the
here it is.
vice president.
Titus.
Go ahead.
Here's my email. To Mr. Titus. Seeing how you are now vice president of Erie City Council, are you going to give me any feedback / responses to my emails / videos that I send you? No responses, yay or nay in the past. Let's see if that changes in the new year. I won't be holding my breath. Trump 2028.
He's not going to respond to your emails. I mean, they're great.
Well, he should. I send him all kinds of emails and videos, and I never get a response from him. Now, Chuck, he does send me responses back.
Really? That's impressive.
Even if they're, nasty responses or sarcastic responses.
No.
But at least I get a response.
Yeah, at least someone, one of his people. I don't know if he has people or not. I mean, he's not that important to have people, but you never know. I mean, it is what it is. But people don't understand. Dave does a lot of cool video work. I've had him do some of my promotional videos when I was running for city council and sheriff. He does a great job. He does. And I think you enjoy doing them. And he sends the videos of crazy shit that goes on in the Erie that he catches on his video cameras. And that's what he doesn't get a response.
No, then Tyler never responds.
Just do you send him to the
She
mayor?
has been a few times, and then she quit.
Yeah.
Chuck, like I says, I'll get some sarcasm every now and then from Chuck. The other ones I usually don't bother. I send them to what's her face to the girl, the woman there that just got elected.
Yeah, I don't know her name. I forget her name.
I can't remember her name now.
But do you send them to the mayor? That's the question.
Oh yeah, but I never get a response from the mayor. Never.
Rainbow Joe doesn't respond to your awesome videos of you catching criminals in the act in his beloved city?
No, he doesn't really care. If I send him something about a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking, I'm sure he might respond.
Right.
But I never get nothing back from him.
I know, just like, when we had the Snowmageddon here a couple of weeks ago, and, Bretton Davison has all those emergency people. They're all in working clothes and jeans and working jackets. And here comes the mayor in a suit and a tie, just for the photo op of, hey, this is what the city didn't do. And this is what the county did for you. And, so, I mean, it was ridiculous. I'm not saying, to show up in a pair of, shriveled up old work pants. But come on, these guys have been out here shoveling snow, running trucks, moving and delivering stuff. And here comes Sniffy Joe, and where was our beloved city council? I didn't hear one peep out of them. Not one.
Yeah,
I didn't see. Pretzel showed up to our roof collapse, and, I'm too scared to be on a roof, and brought donuts and left.
He did show up for that?
Yeah, he showed up and told me I'm too scared to go up on roofs. I said, well, you talk to the chief. He'll give you something to do. He ran and got donuts and disappeared. So At least he showed up. At least he showed up. And that's, man, I'm stretching my nicety of my New Year's resolution. Where was the rest of the county council? Were they out there digging out their people out in, Mayor Graves' neck of the wood? Nope. I didn't see one county council person out doing anything, so these elected officials, people, do your homework, pay attention, Google up what they're doing, going to a puppy show and cutting a ribbon for some cupcake shop that'll be out of business in 6 months. Yeah, that's real nice. That really does great. Insert sarcasm here.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, I'm gonna look for that video. I believe I got it on BitChute. That's not on Rumble, I don't think. It's an older one. I did it a while back with Spoon when he threatened to take that guy outside.
A guy half his size and half his age.
Yeah, I do have that, but I think it's on my BitChute.
Yeah, that guy was.
channel.
I was friends with that guy on social media, and we chatted about it for a long time. And he was like, "Man, I was kind of nervous. I wasn't sure if the cops were going to pounce on me or he really was going to take me out and beat me up with a cane or something."
Did you run into that guy?
I knew him on social media.
Oh, you did. I actually ran into him, believe it or not, at a yard sale.
No kidding.
Yeah, I recognized his voice, and I started asking him. I said, "Were you at the council meeting here?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Oh man," I said, he lives in Lawrence Park.
Really? Well, I mean,
I believe he lives right on East Lake Road, in Lawrence Park, right past Franklin Avenue there on the left-hand side.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Well, I remember that. I mean, the news made a big deal about it. It's just like with our red hats on display,
Yeah.
we ruffled their feathers, man. We got Chucky Nelson all upset, and then, but my question for you is, Tyler Titus, he ran for county executive. He got his backside spanked. And I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to, as now being the El Presidente, take a little bit of heat, or is he going to, when he takes that heat, is he going to have to go crawl in a closet somewhere and do like he did when he lost the county executive bid? I mean, that's verified story, verified by several people. That on election night, they couldn't find him. They couldn't find him. He was in the closet crying. And this guy's supposed to be a counselor and how to deal with your feelings. I'm sitting in a closet crying. These are the people that are running the city. No. Say no to these people. I don't care if he's the first transgender, whatever bullshit. He's a horrible, horrible leader. Horrible.
No argument here.
Yeah, I get it, brother. It's hey, that's why the city of Erie's population is sliding down the toilet.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable what we got in the city here. It's just
That's why I told you 1,000 times, move out of the city. Come out here, move out to the
uh,
creek.
move out to the creek.
Come
Be
on,
one of the creekers.
we got 3 great supervisors out here that actually, I don't know, give a shit
Yeah,
and do their
yeah.
jobs and don't curl up in a corner and cry when they have a bad day. Well, one of them's a Navy guy, so you know how they are.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, but I'll see if I can round up that
Yeah.
BitChute video with Spoon when he did that little tantrum. That was all over. You remember what it was about, don't you?
Listen, I can't even remember. I just remember
Yeah,
him.
that was. This guy was saying, "Do the right thing," and he was talking to Sonia.
Oh,
This is when Sonia Arrington was involved in that deal with
that's
at
right.
the casino and the money and taxes and all that baloney.
Yeah, stealing money from her nonprofit MAD. I remember
Right.
that because of her.
Guy was up there complaining about do the right thing and resign, and then they all jumped on him about you can't single out a single council person. You have to address the council as a whole.
Right.
Sort of like what they did to the Red Hat Brigade, if you remember.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that. You know, the El Presidente up there. I'll clear this room. I cleared a room, and I get it from the Democrats because they were out of line, they were out of control, they were running the meeting, and they don't run the meeting.
Right.
So yeah,
But that's what that was about. That guy was up there addressing Sonia.
Ah, that's right.
And he also was addressing Sonia and the council. He says, "Do the right thing. Either
that's right.
You resign, or council should get rid of you," which they can't. But that's what he was addressing, and that's when Spoon sort of got off the deep edge and threatened to take the guy outside.
I mean, he stood up and everything, like
Oh yeah.
I remember. I just don't remember the video. And now, thanks for refreshing my memory of the antics of the city.
Yeah, that's what that was all about.
That's what I like about having 2 boots on the ground in the city. I got Dave and I got Kim. Live action reporting live from the city of Erie.
Yeah, I didn't watch that council meeting today, but
yeah, I just
might watch it later on if there was anything worthy of a new video, but I don't know.
Well, you figure, they have these, and we're going to get into Mill Creek supervisors meeting. They talk about some fireworks, man. Kim Clear does not like to be challenged, and boy, I'm telling you.
Oh, Miss Makeup.
Yeah. She went off. Well, she couldn't make the meeting because she was in Cancun.
Oh,
yeah. Don't you feel sorry for her?
Cancun.
I feel really sorry that she couldn't make the meeting, but hey, at least she called in, and former supervisor Sue Weber and her got into it. We've got video later for that.
Oh, they got into it.
Oh yeah,
Sue and Kim
on the phone. Yeah, because Sue Weber was live at the meeting. Kim is down in Cancun.
Wow.
Yeah, too busy to do her job. And don't forget the almost 4% pay raise they gave themselves. But hey, that's enough. We'll get back to that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call her Miss Makeup.
Her pink
She had a
her
bikini
pink
on
hard
down there
hat.
in Cancun. I'd love to see that in a bikini, huh?
No, thank you. No, thanks, man. I had to work with her, and trust me, I know I'm fine. I'm perfectly good.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because halfway through halfway through her first term, what does she do? She quits. Well, and something else we're going to talk about is how Mary Rennie. Remember, when she did not get chairman when she thought she should have, what did she do? She quit. So here's these Democrats quitting. Now I'm waiting for Copeland to quit because he didn't get chairman, have a hissy fit, and go cry in a corner somewhere, and it was a safe place like Tyler.
He got the vice though. He got the vice chairman, didn't he?
Whoop-de-doo. You know what you are? You were the gopher for the chairman.
Oh, okay.
That's it. And that's supposed to groom you for chairman. But look what they did. Copeland was on me on in the meeting, well, Shank got 2 terms. And what did they do? They turned around and gave the Democrat 2 terms.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
okay for them to do it, but not us.
Yep.
They're
Yeah.
hypocrites.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, so it's it's absolutely unbelievable. I think Brenda. I don't know if Brenda got the video or not, but we had the reorganization, and man, you could tell the minute when Copeland. Oh,
I
okay,
do.
good. A little voice in my head.
It's ready whenever
Yeah,
you're
we'll
ready.
come back to that. But yeah, so when Copeland didn't get it, man, I could hear his cowboy boots almost catching on fire. He was so
His
mad.
cowboy boots.
He's a carpetbagger from Chicago, wears jeans and a flannel shirt and that scruffy beard to a council meeting, and I'm from Chicago. I don't realize there's that many cowboys from Chicago, but it's funny. If you really go down the list of all these so-called hotshot Democrats, every one of them is a carpetbagger. They're not even from here, but by God, they gave Oz and McCormick, they drove that into the ground about them not being from here. But what do they do?
Yeah.
They're the hypocrites. They're the carpetbaggers. They're not even from this town, but that's how they talk to us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything they do, everything they accuse you of doing,
They're
they
doing
either
it.
have done it or are in the process of doing it.
Totally agree with you. Nelson, he's from Boston. Pretzel, he's from Florida. Well, I think they threw him out or gave him alternative. Hey, buddy, you leave town, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
And Copeland's from Chicago. So here you got these 3 self-proclaimed hotshots here. They're not even from this town. They don't even know the history of this place, but they come in here. Well, we run the place, Go back to
Yeah.
Boston, Chuck. Because maybe throwing rocks at cars on the thruway is legal. I don't know. In Pennsylvania, it's not. I'm not a cop anymore, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think it is either anymore.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Yeah. All right, Brian, I'm gonna look that up. I'll send you the link.
Man, I appreciate your call. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Talk to you later.
Well,
All right, bye.
yeah, that was a good segue to go into the shenanigans of Mill Creek. Everyone's
right.
gonna get a shot tonight. Thanks, Dave. We appreciate
All
you,
right,
man.
later, bye.
Bye. Yeah, everyone's gonna get a shot in the barrel tonight. Mill Creek. Okay, we remember we had the Gateway project. They spent the quadrillion dollars to purchase a bunch of property that's worth a fraction of the price. Kim Clear was in her pink hat had the reins on that one, and absolutely pissed off half of Mill Creek. So they. Hi, Kim. You're live.
Oh man, you had to bring up the Copeland thing. When you and Brenda called me about that, I was laughing so hard I was giddy as a
We got a
schoolgirl.
video. We got the video. Don't worry. Because
Oh my God.
I
But
don't
let's
want.
talk about some great, exciting things that are going on, Brian. We
It's-
are going to have such a mega, mega happy new year.
These Democrats are making it easy. They're making it easy.
So easy. And we're going to have so much fun, boys and girls. Okay, so what do we have coming up next? Brenton Davis has a great announcement party coming up.
Yep. Kicking
We
off.
have the inauguration of our 47th
Woohoo!
president. We work so hard, guys. Everybody, every one of you patriots, it shows what you can do when you work together as a team.
And Pennsylvania line officers. I mean, the big show. We took a clean sweep of all the Republicans. I got to be honest. I was worried about Mr. Sunday, new guy, new kid on the block, first time in politics. I was nervous. I truly was.
Remember, he was the DA down there in York, Pennsylvania. So when he came out against Dave Pasquale, a nobody who had basically said,
even a
"I've
lawyer."
never even been to court,
Right.
never done a court
Prosecuted.
case."
Never prosecuted
And
the case.
when we watched that debate, and they're like, "Well, Mr. Sunday, how will you do this?" He goes, "How will I do it? I've already done it. I have proven methods."
I know. But I'm just telling you my feelings. I'm being honest that I was nervous. I met him, looked him square in the eye, Navy guy, good family guy, and then I felt a lot better. These guys are all tall. They're all taller than me. I mean, I feel like a
And
midget.
I'll tell you, these Democrats better get to running, because with him and Tim DeFore, some people are going to have some accountability.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I totally get it, and that's why I was like, this liberal bullshit is over. It's done. DEI is done. Erie is just always 10, 15 years late for the party. We
Oh,
gave them
yeah.
their shot. They blew it. And now they want more money to gut. Well, hey, go get your money. Go get people to donate it. Why don't you steal some money from from ECRA? They love throwing away our tax dollars that are supposed to be for us, but they just, let's go buy new puppy cages for somebody.
Oh yeah, they're good. And I'll tell you what, because Brenton's already got them lined up, man. He's already been making the reports and everything. And I'm telling you what, Tim Defoe, once he finds out all that embezzlement and how they spent that money, he ain't gonna mess around.
It's already on their desk. They've already have it. They've had that stuff and they're working on it. They're doing a forensic audit on everything. And I hope they all get caught with their hands in the cookie jars, because how do you get away with spending X amount of, what is it, over $500,000 to give money away? We did the
Right.
same thing on county council for 53 cents an hour, but Perry Wood gets $150,000 that we paid for his doctorate to hand money around. Now he's going to run for office. Bullshit.
Well,
Throw these Democrats out on the street.
Out on the street, we're gonna shove them out on a rail. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, boys and girls, not only do we have Brenton Davis's announcement party coming up, we have a great presidential inauguration coming up. And then the first week in February, you might hear about another announcement party coming up. And then we have the state GOP that'll be February 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're going to have a big vote there. They're going to vote for a new head of the state Republican Party. So that should be good. That'll be good for everybody. We got Dave McCormick. He just got inaugurated into office. He's already got a game plan going, and he's already ready, set to go. He's already opening 4 brand new offices.
No, I mean, I totally get you. I know, and I got to slide this in here. These aren't official. These are, someone whispered in my ear. Here's your lineup for the Democrat Party for county executive. Perry Wood, please give me a break. Sit down, because you're going to be shocked on this one. Carl Anderson, what is it, this third time up the bat on this one?
I want to see a picture of him standing next to Brenton.
Here's the funny one. Here's the one I just like. I literally spit out my coffee when I heard Mary Rennie.
Mary Rennie. Oh
Miss,
my God.
I quit county council because I didn't get chairman.
And this is great. And she doesn't have any money.
Can't make it up.
No money. She gave her money to fucking Rock Copeland.
Don't worry, the Democrats will, they'll circle the wagon. Whatever one of the 3 come out of this, because it's going to be bloody and it's going to be expensive. Rennie's Raiders will all come around her with their signs and promote her.
Don't forget the 4th one.
I don't know who that is.
Jimmy Works.
Oh yeah, I heard that one, but I've never heard that one twice. I've only heard it once. The other 3 I've heard several times. So
I got it from a very, very reliable source.
Yeah.
Jimmy Works. So I think that's great. I hope more of them run, because they will outspend each other on money in the primary. So they'll have no money left to run against Brenton.
Oh, see, that's where I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit. Just like they did when I ran against Sheriff, they got $200,000 from that corrupt Mayor Bloomberg out of New York, and a dirty DC PAC finance pretzel, because they want to control the Board of Elections of 2024, and it got them nothing. They got.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering how much money do these big donors actually have left, because they wasted it all on the presidential race and giving it to people like Bob Casey and stuff.
Well,
so I don't think they're going to have as much money as they've had in the past.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. You got George Soros, because he's a proud recipient of the Freedom Award. Give me a break. That whole list of cast of characters is ridiculous.
They ruined the Freedom Award.
I wouldn't take that if they gave it to me now, because it's been tarnished. No. Bono, whatever his name is, from U2, and Magic Johnson. What has he done for freedom other than catch AIDS and give everybody else sick? I don't know what to tell you. And Soros, really?
And Hillary?
Hillary Rodden, I killed all those people in Benghazi. Clinton. I get it. I just, this guy is being told what to do. Stand here, do this, say these words,
here, sign this,
and sign this. and get out of town because they're just
Just
it's
burn down the country before we get out.
set it on fire because you know what? It'll make our win bigger and better because
Well, I'll
we had
tell
to
you
clean up
what,
his
and
mess.
I don't know about Fetterman. You know, I'm not surprised that he voted for the Lake and Riley thing. It's like when you have a stroke, you get unwoke.
That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt, Brenda. Because I'm telling you what,
If you
ever
have a
since he had
stroke,
that
don't be
stroke,
woke. Right. No, I get that. But hey, real quick, Dave just put up the link for it's for the Weatherspoon link on when he threatened to take somebody outside and take care of it outside.
and I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised if Mel did that because I'm
He
telling
did.
you what, these people get out of line at city
did.
council meeting. He'll be the first one to bring that cane up and smack somebody upside the head.
And you'll go to jail. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Because-
Dave did put up there the link. You can catch the link. You can watch Witherspoon, which is way taller than little white guy. Now, if that
Right.
would have been flipped, that it would have been all over CNN. But
Absolutely.
you got Witherspoon, the big old black guy, being able to threaten a little white guy, and it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no,
But,
I mean, this is exciting times we're in. We're coming on a big victory. Our line officers, the Republicans, they said we sent a clear message to the to people of Erie County, Pennsylvania, and the United States. All we have to do is grab a hold of it and keep running and pushing.
Right. So guys and girls, you know what? We're going to start having next month, it's going to be petition time. I know for myself, I can't speak for anybody else. I'm really going to be looking for your support and your help. I'm going to need 100+ signatures on that petition. We have not had an independent Republican voice on city council and I don't know how many
Long
years.
time.
We have all been suffering, with over 50+ years of failed Democratic policies. So I know for a fact, I believe it in my heart that we can take some of these races, but I really, really, really am going to need your team help like I did when we all worked so hard to get Trump, McCormick, Laughlin, and all these other great people elected. And I
just
truly in
all
my heart
broke
believe we can do
mentally
it
this
again.
year. Things
No,
got so
I mean-
bleak. We started watching
Hang
the
on one second.
WNBA. Was that what happened? Like, I don't. 2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's. Oh God, Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No.
I know.
Sorry about that, Brenda. There was a video playing.
Oh,
It was at a New Year's Eve party where this girl just absolutely.
Sorry
Hammered
about
it.
that. That was
Yeah.
an accidental push.
That was an accidental play. We'll play that again in a little bit. So, because we were talking. I wasn't laughing at you. Honestly, I wasn't.
I know you were.
There
I know you weren't.
Yeah, there was a video. This girl it was on CNN and it was on New Year's Eve. And she was talking about how a horrible job the Democrats did to this whole election series. And she's like, am I still on the air? Well, when we're done with the call, I'll have Brenda play it back. That way it is absolutely hilarious. But no,
Okay.
I mean, we're in some magic times here,
We are. But we got to keep up the momentum, guys and girls. We cannot get lax on this because the minute we do, we're going to lose. But like I said, if you're interested in a red mega hat, please let Brian or Brenda know so we can get those ordered so we have them. And don't forget, please, and thank you ahead of time, please come out for the next Erie City Council meeting.
Yeah, we haven't confirmed it up, but according to the way it works, it should be January 15th at
I think, the 15th or the 16th.
because they just had
come out for that.
Yeah, they just had their day one, so then they flip it to the night one. So that
Right.
Wednesday night we won't have a show. I'll make sure I post it up on social media and do it that way.
And with
But
that
yeah,
going, I want you all to stay safe and warm and happy. Keep celebrating with us. And if there's anything else going on, I'm sure it comes in my ear, out my mouth, into Brian or Brenda's ear.
right.
And on that, I'm going to let you go. And let's say a prayer for all those people out in Southern California with the wildfires. I have family out there.
Right.
And we don't want to see anybody. We've had enough tragedies this year. Let's all
I
say
agree.
prayers and make it a mega, mega new year.
Oh, I like that. Thanks, Kim. We appreciate
All
your
right. Love
report.
you all.
We
Bye,
have-
Brenda. I love you, honey. Bye bye.
we've had two great reports from the boots on the ground in the downtown Erie. Because the times are changing, the people are paying attention, and we've proven we can make a change. We've proved it to you. All you have to do is you gotta reach out and grab it. With Kim's petitions, you have to be a city of Erie resident to sign it. So if you're a Harbor Creekian or out in Lake City out in West County, and you can't sign her petition because it's the wrong deal. But you can, if you live in the city of Erie, we will, when she gets that up and running, we'll do a traveling road show. We did it when I ran for sheriff, very popular. We brought it to you, did some Facebook lives. You come to, and we meet you halfway, because going door to door is tough in the winter. So that way we had, when I ran for sheriff, I literally had, it was freezing out. We had people pull up, roll down the window of the Hummer, hand them a clipboard. They sign my petition. Have a nice day. Give them a sign and a button, and they rolled down there. If you want to play that video, Brenda, it was set up. So, like I said, sorry, it was just one of them oopsies. And it was from a reporter on New Year's Eve. And this is from CNN. So I'm shocked that this woman still has it.
We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak. We started watching the WNBA. What happened? 2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's. Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No!
I mean, even CNN has kind of curbed their hatred a little bit, because they're about ready to sell everything off, because the Clinton News Network is just dying, because this woke liberal crap is dying. People, it's dying. And it's fun to go online and you read some of these surveys that, oh, Joe Biden will go down in history as the best president ever. I said, are we talking about the same Joe Biden here? Because he is going to go down in history as the worst. I don't want to speak ill of the dead. Jimmy Carter he did a lot of great things. He was a president, but he was a great human being, and he really showed who he was after he was out of office. He took his presidency, turned it around, and did a lot of good things for people that needed help. Habitat for Humanity. That guy was out pounding nails at 90 years old until he couldn't do it anymore. So as a president, not so great. As a human being, he gets a Shank thumbs up, because he was a great person helping his fellow man. That's what the Medal of Freedom is about, not how much money you put into Sniffy Joe's crime family. And that's exactly what the castic is, Ciro's. And, all these ultra liberal Democrats, and Hillary Clinton gets a freedom. The people, the families of the Benghazi victims should be smoking mad about that one. So, yeah. So, Brenda, what kind of videos you got up? Go ahead. Impress me with what you got. Please.
Jamar Banks facing assault and weapons possession charges after he was accused of stabbing an MTA employee Thursday and another man on New Year's Day. We're now learning the suspect has been arrested, drum roll please, 87 times. Joining us now is the founder of the Guardian Angels, Curtis Sliwa. Curtis, you've been in the subways, you tell me, since 1979. Now you and your team are back there. What brought you back there? Cases like that?
It's never been worse, Brian. And we have a combination where when you descend into the subway, it's a combination of Dante's Inferno, Clockwork Orange, and Jack Nicholson in The Shining. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This guy you're talking about, 87 priors, not hard to find.
Living in the subway.
He lives on 2 lines. He only is a creature of habit, rides the 2 and the 5 train with a knife in his hand. The cops lock him up. D.A. Bragg, you know his name, cuts him loose time and time again. He's a threat to everybody in that subway system. Then they put out an all-points bulletin. This man is extremely dangerous. Well, let me tell you something. Everyone is in danger on the subway. Look at that woman who was turned into a human torch.
From New Jersey.
Debrina Kawam, cheerleader, all-American girl, the Jersey girl. See, when I'm dealing with the homeless and emotionally disturbed, which is what we guardian angels do because they're the forgotten people, they're Americans. And migrants, they put up in hotels. Americans, they allow to sit in their squalor and ride round and round. We don't help them. And when we talk to them, we find out they're people just like you and me who just had a hard time, and now they're forced to live on the subway. And our officials, our governor and our mayor, do nothing.
And the governor of New York was bragging how safe the subways are. And I think the same day or the next day, that poor lady was set on fire by an illegal immigrant. Let's just call it what it is, boys and girls. He wasn't trying to come to this country legally. He had been deported. He came back, and then a heinous crime. But this is exactly we talk about this stuff. We talk about this stuff because this liberal Democrat agenda is killing us, literally, physically, mentally. And they just stand around and clap their hands at each other. I'm not trying to make a political stance out of what's going on in California. Some of these are things, and they've had the experts on saying that a lot of these problems were failed policies maintaining these forests and these properties and these lands. Oh, you have Dave's video? Oh, if you can play that. This is from the recycled President Witherspoon.
You walk into this room at your own risk. You're out of order, sir. Pardon? You're out of order by saying that. Because it leads to the future. Not a future that will be, but one that might be. Your 5 minutes is up. This is not a new world. It is simply an extension of what began in the old one. It has patterned itself after every dictator who has ever planted the ripping imprint of a boot on the pages of history since the beginning of time. It has refinements, technological advances, and a more sophisticated approach to the destruction of human freedom. You don't want me to step down. But like every one of the super states that preceded it, it has one iron rule. Your 5 minutes is up. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace. You don't attack any one individual. I'm not attacking. Mr. Murphy said that. I already said to you once. You can use it in general. Sure. Nothing directly to anyone. Okay, I asked the council to do the right thing. Okay, do the right thing. It's you're supporting that. You support that? You're serious. I can't believe that you would support that. You should have asked that a long time ago to step down. All right, well, I'll see you outside. No, I'm not going to go outside, you bully. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Oh, that is one of Dave's videos that he loves to do. And again, it's it just shows their mentality. You want to step outside? No, because the minute he would have put his hands on that council person, they would have thrown him in jail. He would have got arrested. But you can threaten somebody, and that's okay, because that's what Democrats do. They love to point their fingers at you, and they're doing the same bullshit. It's just like this thing that's going on in Mill Creek. Kim Clear has been the push to redo Mill Creek. Okay, we have to move forward. We have to bring businesses in. I get that. She's trying to do it right, but just bleeding the place dry. I mean, that 8th Street debacle, according to Sue Weber, which was the former controller of Erie County government, it will take hundreds of years based on the tax bases around the properties to get that money back because they paid so much money for that. Now, they have another scam project going on. They sold the golf course, and now they want to buy the Zem building at 38th and Zook. Well, I guess the property connects to one of the Mill Creek parks. So they want to make their parks bigger. I get it. They got to have nice places for the kiddies to run around, safe. Totally get that. Well, they want to purchase the building and make it a senior center. Now, former supervisor John Grow, we don't have the video for that, but I'll tell you what, he gave a presentation to the supervisors while Kim was in Cancun on vacation, that how he, back in the 70s, helped build that building. The electric needs to be replaced. The ceiling, the roof needs replaced. And I've been in that parking lot. We've had events there for the motorcycles. It's a death trap. And I got to agree with him. That whole parking lot needs to be torn up and redone. And once Mill Creek Township buys that property, they own it. So they're paying $3.4 million for this building that needs a new electric, needs a new roof, needs a new parking lot. How many more millions of dollars? So concerned citizens got together, have a little group together. Sue Weber is, like I said, she's a former Mill Creek supervisor, and she was a controller for Erie County. She gave a presentation at the last meeting, and of course, it's all televised. And of course, Kim is on her phone. So, Brenda, would you play that video of Sue Weber, please?
Good morning and Happy New Year. I came to express concern over two things, and you're the only Board of Supervisors in Erie County that does this. I realize that the second-class township code was changed, so you do not have to bid out or put out a request for proposal for professional services, but all other townships do that. And you constantly just hiring people to do things without putting out a request for proposal. That's not good for the taxpayers, and that's not fair to them. One recent thing that ties in with something on the agenda here is, didn't you just hire a company to do a complete Parks and Rec study for you, and aren't they being paid $100,000? Is that correct, Mr. Bach? And was that ever put out?
Ballard King, I believe, is the...
Was that ever put out for a public proposal so that other companies could put in a proposal? Was it ever advertised so that they could put in a proposal? Was that company just handpicked and they got the job? Were they just picked?
My recollection is they were picked based on the director of the Parks and Recs Department recommendation.
Well, that's not the correct way to go about things, even though it's legal. And that's not what other townships do. You're not getting the best deal for the taxpayers when you do that, and you've done it over and over and over again. The other problem here is, you're putting the cart before the horse here. This Zemzem property, you haven't even let the public weigh in, and you've got on the agenda today, you've got a phase 1 environmental assessment, which should always be done anyway. But why are you spending money for that when you have not even let the public weigh in? My understanding is that that Parks and Rec study will span a period of 5 months. And in that Parks and Rec study, having a community center at all will be studied. Why would you even sign a letter of intent to purchase that property or pay for an environmental study if you haven't even had the completion of that study that says if you should have a community center, where it should be located, what size it should be? I think that what you should do is go back to the drawing board. You need to take a couple years and visit other townships, do research, see what their community centers look like, what size they are, what their operating budgets are, instead of just diving headlong into this thing here. And I'm telling you, a lot of the public is upset about it because it smacks of 8th Street, where you did the exact same thing. And you really upset people about that. And you're doing the same thing all over again. Now, this phase 1 environmental assessment, are you putting that out for people to submit proposals, or are you just picking somebody? Do you have somebody today that you're going to appoint to do that? Mr. Bach? Do you have somebody you're going to appoint today to do that?
I can't answer that right now.
All right, because if you're doing it that way, I'm asking that you not do it that way, because it does not benefit the taxpayers. It doesn't. And I'm not saying that cheapest is always best. I'm saying that different companies have different approaches to how they do things, including the Parks and Rec study. These people are from Colorado. You mean there wasn't anybody from Pennsylvania that wanted to submit a proposal, but they never got the chance because you handpicked someone from Colorado, which I think was very wrong to the taxpayers. Thank you. Mr. Chairman?
Mrs. Clear, yes.
Has Ms. Weber, is she finished?
Yes, she is.
Okay. With all due respect, Ms. Weber, you have not actually been in any of the meetings of the last 3 years where this has been discussed and all of the research that has been done. I realize you're not privy to that, and I guess when you don't have all the information, you have a tendency to speak out when you have limited information, as you know what you're talking about, and you don't. So I just wanted to let you know that anything and everything you just said has been done, and all of these agencies have been vetted. So until you have all the information, I guess I'm going to ask that you do not falsely accuse the Board of Supervisors or our Park and Rec Director against any of these things that you're falsely accusing them of. They're not being falsely accused. It's a fact. It's a fact, Mrs. Clear, that this was not put out for the public. Does not have the floor. It's a fact that this was not put out. No, it's not a fact. You make things up. It is a fact. But they are not fact. Mr. Bach just verified that this was never put out publicly. Make things up all you want. I'm done. So other companies could you come up here and try to tell us what you know when you don't know. So other companies could put in a proposal for it. That's not a false accusation. That is a fact. We vetted 40 different organizations. We vetted them. Do you know what that means? You haven't done this for 30-some years. You're not familiar with the process anymore. You did not advertise requests for proposals. You did not do that, and that is what other townships do. That is just a fact. Sure. Okay. The two that you talked to. Thank you. You're done. Well, let's just end with this. She doesn't have the floor anymore. I was in public office 20 years. You've been in office 3. So I think I know a little bit more about what I'm doing than you do. You're not in office anymore. You don't know how it goes.
Wow. How catty can you be? You're not an office. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is why I try to tell you people, get involved. Hold these elected officials, their feet to the fire. When I was chairman, they held my feet to the fire. You bet your backsides they did. But these Democrat rogue supervisor is just like, you're done. You don't have the floor. You know what you're talking about. Sue Weber has more knowledge in her right hand than Kim Clear has in her whole body. It's not a beat up Kim Clear night, but I'm telling you, she was a Republican. She became a teacher, had to switch to be a Democrat, and was on county council for what? Barely a year, 2 years, and quit and became a supervisor. And now she's all knowing of all this. Sue Weber sat in that chair probably when Kim Clear was still in school. And then she was the controller. But these are the things, this is why we do the show. To show you people, to put it in your lap. I can't do anymore. Brendan and I, we dig this stuff up. We go through this. We talk about what we're going to put on a show, what needs to be talked about. These people out there in Mill Creek have lost their minds. They have a storm sewer problem that people have died because of the lack of it. Instead of taking that money from the water sale and invest it in infrastructure, let's worry about the foo-foo bullshit Gateway project. I doubt the majority of us in this room will ever see that project off the ground because they paid so much money for it. And the guys who sold the property, we got you, Mill Creek. They're the only ones that are making money off this thing. So Sue Weber is great with math. So she did the math, held their feet to the fire on the taxes. I could have sworn she said over 100 years to recoup that money back that they put out for that 8th Street project, which is going to go nowhere. No investor is going to buy that money unless they know something we don't. That's where I challenge them to dig it out. Why did these politicians have to hire firms from out of state? I was on county council. I had to go to war to keep our ballots being printed here in Erie County. A lot of money, local jobs, my district, certified printer. They did all the testing. They got cleared by Dominion to print the ballots so they could be scanned properly. You swear I stole Mary Rennie's lunch money on how she went to war with me about sending it over to Ohio. Why is that? Why did she fight? So they get me out. They spent $250,000 and they get my head whacked. Exactly what they wanted. And what did they do? They sent that money and the printing of the ballots to this company in Ohio. And what did they do? They got us on national news because they screwed it up. We're professionals. We've done these things for a long time. We're the standard. We're the gold standard. Gold standard. Andre Horton's favorite tools. We're the gold standard. Gold standard. You guys blew it. You guys got us on national TV as ballots were late. They were printed wrong. People didn't get them. And we spent a lot of money. And yeah, I'll get to that, Kim. Thank you. So not me, they hired an Ohio company, sent your tax dollars to Ohio. I'm okay with Ohio. I like Ohio. They wanted to send it to some commie company in New York. I said, I'm not spending a dime. Ask my wife. I refuse to step in that commie state. Why? Because look how they treat their people. And the minute I step in New York, I'm a felony. I'm a felon. I'm not a felon. I'm an honorably discharged veteran, former law enforcement. I have a handgun permit. But the minute I step in New York, I'm a felon. I could step in Ohio. They're like, sir, officer, I have a firearm. Here's my permit. Hey, have a nice day. So I refuse to go to New York. Don't go to New York. You want to send a clear message? Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their pocketbooks. Uh-oh. Watch this one. You were live.
Mr. Brian Shank, this is Daryl Owens here. How are you, sir?
I saw the caller ID and I'm like, oh, look who's calling. How is everything in your neck of the woods, sir?
It is cold and definitely snowy down here in Waterford. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's what I like about you. You're not too far away, but you're far away. And we can get a good report from south of Erie. So yeah. So did you guys have a good Christmas? Your wife and your lovely daughter?
We did, Brian. Thank you for asking again, my friend. And I apologize I wasn't able to call on the show a couple weeks ago here. We're down in Florida for the holidays. And I got to tell you, it was tough coming back after the sunshine and warmth and realizing the driveway wasn't plowed and shoveled out ready yet.
Oh,
so
yucky.
That's like that first getting out there and realizing, oh, this 2 feet of snow is always heavier than I think when we first get out and start getting after it. So
I don't know what it is, but it can't be because we're getting older. That snow's getting heavier.
It is. I'll tell you what, I would take snow any day over the wildfires out there and the god awful inferno is raging in Los Angeles right now. I hope everyone's okay, and my heart goes out to them and prayers and everything like that. But man, you could not pay me to live in the Palisades of LA and your city out there. Hard pass.
I went to when I lived in California, we went down to LA to go to Disney, and that was years ago, and I was scared. And I was a police officer, a sworn police officer, and I was nervous down there. I'm like, man, this is not my neck of the woods. And yeah. So what's new and exciting in your world? I know there's a lot of things that we can't talk about because we text and everything. But so what do you want to tell us you've been up to?
So, Brian, there's a lot of moving parts right now within the administration I can't talk about, and I look forward to reporting back to you guys on that soon. But otherwise, still working hard in the veteran space, trying to help veterans. We've been tracking closely what the current administration has been doing with veterans over the past couple of months. And Brian, if we talked before about this, but some of the issues have just gotten worse. And I'm thankful that we have a great nominee, Doug Collins, who's going to come in and help fix the VA and right the ship, because the current administration right now, especially when it comes to veterans policy, they are just managing the problems. They are not solving the problems. They're not actively trying to fix the problems. They're just managing them and covering them up to be able to pass them off. And I deeply fear that there's going to be a scandal. There's already a budget crisis brewing in the VA right now because of mismanagement that the current administration has done.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure it's no surprise to anyone listening that there's been mismanagement. They're not holding VA employees accountable, and this is what you get. You get problems like this, and you get big cover-ups everywhere, and we don't even know what the extent of some of these issues are right now, Brian.
And that's why I appreciate your chats. And I always ask, is this something we can talk about? No, not yet. And I respect the boundaries. I get it. But I appreciate what you're doing. You might not be on a battlefront helping us, but you are the guy that's in the trenches making sure that our veterans are taken care of, and that responsibility is huge. You could drive a tank and fly a helicopter, and yeah, I'd be impressed. But when you're on home turf fighting for the rights of the men and women who have served this country, that are suffering and are just trying to get through what they've been doing for the last 20 plus years, sir, Major, I salute you.
Thank you, sir. And I got to tell you, so we had a great example. Just this past week, we had a veteran who was presenting with, and I'm allowed to use the story. It's okay. We cleared it with it and everything.
Good.
Air Force veteran. She's terrific people. She called out and said, "Hey, I need some help. I can't get into the VA." And we asked, "Hey, so what happened?" She was having gastrointestinal pains. They were presenting. She couldn't even walk. I mean, just crippling. Her insides were hurting. Goes into the ER. They take care of her, send her back home. She gets a call from the VA saying, "Hey, we can't cover this."
What?
Okay, why not? She went to the ER just as you managed. Well, hey,
Right.
this wasn't one of her disability rating stuff. Got that all squared away. Got it. Next time, same thing happens. A couple of days later, she goes to the VA hospital. VA says, "Hey, we can't see you right now. There's nothing we can do. We're going to send you a specialist. We can have you a specialist down about 6 hours away, and we'll have them scheduled for you in March."
Oh my God.
She
Wow.
says, "What in the world am I going to do for the next 3 months in crippling pain? Instead of just going to ER and going to a local doctor and going to see my normal physicians, why do I have to come here to the VA to have you tell me that I can't get treatment?" And so we were able to help her, get her all set, get her all connected with a good resource in the community, and happy to say she's doing better. She's getting good treatment. She had some issues that are getting resolved, but that's just one of a myriad of stories that this administration has put in place policies that are not veteran centric, and they're not focused on the right priorities. They are prioritized on keeping the hospitals and VA employees and VA system first before veterans. And that is appalling to me.
One of our listeners just typed in the room. I just learned last week that our Erie VA is no longer actually a hospital. It's now the long-term care and hospice. I don't know. I don't know. I go up there, Stan. I know you're personally connected to this story, and I appreciate you sharing it. I know I go up there. I get my eyes checked. I get my glasses. I had a homeless veteran here locally that was struggling. I met him. He was at a homeless veterans center. He was a Marine. He was in the Marine Corps. Worked on helicopters. We were doing some work at the facility. We became friends. He calls me. He goes, "Brian, I need help." So I made arrangements to pick him up. I drug him up to the VA, to the ER, and he they searched his bag. He came out with 2 Bowie knives, big K-bars. The police officer looked at me. He goes, "I technically have to arrest him unless you get rid of these knives right now." So he checked himself in, took care of secured the weapons out of my vehicle, and he got the treatment he needed. So these are the little stories, and I love you. I appreciate you sharing them, because these are the victories, the battles that we fight that it never gets any press. We don't put it in the News Times and call the local press and say, "Hey, I helped a Marine today." No, man, this kid just reached out to me. I shouldn't say kid. He was a guy. That's like, I'm an alcoholic and I need help. So,
Well, Brian, first, thank you for doing that. I mean, that's a lot to do and a lot to ask, and a lot of people don't. I mean, people are busy nowadays and doing a lot of things, but especially when it comes to our veterans, people like you who are really out there, out in front, helping folks in line when they ask for help. When folks ask for help, you help them. That's what you do. That's what makes you a good person who you are, Brian. I really appreciate that, and I think especially when it comes to veterans, I mean, we owe this nation such a debt of gratitude to our veterans, especially. That at least we can do is help out when we can. And I think there are a lot of people out there who feel the same way and are really doing their best to try to do right by veterans. And I think we can still do more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Erie is a great place. It has a lot of resources for veterans, but what's the problem? You have to take that first step. You have to pick up that phone, which this Marine did. He picked up that phone, he called me, and we got the ball rolling. Joe Bonacci. I don't know if you ever met Joe Bonacci. He's our Erie County Veteran Director.
You bet. I
Oh,
love Joe Bonacci. He is terrific, and I'll tell you what, Brenton Davis did a great job when he hired him.
totally agree with
Brenton
you.
Davis,
100%.
that was one of his best hires. Joe Bonacci gets the job done every time.
It's so funny. Joe will, if I need his help, I just send him a text. Call me when you can. He calls me. He'll send me a text. Sergeant, stand by for op order. Once you're a first sergeant, you're always a first sergeant. But he's like, it's not like we're doing anything sneaky. But he's like, hey, I got an off the books mission for you. We have to move a stove. I personally can't through my office, but I know you can. So, he's just so funny that he goes, I got it off the books, the operation for you. Just moving a stove, man. But no, I mean, and we tell these stories, and we're here to share our beliefs. I mean, I don't know if you see the chat room or not. People are talking about it. We got Matt. Matt's in here. He's a lieutenant in the National Guard. Good guy.
You bet. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, he's in here. We absolutely should not be providing more services and resources to illegals. We do for our veterans. Matt, you're absolutely right, and I agree with you 100%. So, Matt's a lieutenant. I didn't even realize you were home. I had to find out through my sources, as I put quotation marks in the air, that you were actually home. We're glad you came home safe. Let's keep it that way. So, a lot of positive comments in here about our veterans. I think the Erie. I've only had positive things with the Erie VA. So, Stan, we can off the show. Call me. We'll talk about it.
See if you can answer that question for Lance.
Where is the identification card center for spouse? Oh, where is the identification card center for spouses now? There was a question in the room from Lance. He's a veteran.
That's a great question. I believe that when you walk in, it's right around the corner on the right at the registration office. They do all the registration IDs right there.
Yeah, Lance, I would just good luck calling. It's very, very busy and very hectic. They've got a great reception center there. They have volunteers there that will show you the way. I don't know if you need to make an appointment to do that. It's just so yeah, that's a great question. And
So Brian, just real quick, the last time I was there, when this is a while ago, and had to get my ID card, it was same day. You could walk right in. It was a very easy process. There was no wait. You walk in, you take that first right and take another quick right.
Yeah.
Right around the corner of the registration office. They'll get you all set up with you fill out a quick form and split the information, and then they'll take the picture right there and mail out your card in the mail, and you'll get it in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Like I said, I've never had to do that before, so that's a great question. Lance the reserve center is closed. Yeah, the reserve center is closed, but we're talking at the VA hospital. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, actually, sorry. Yeah, I'm not talking about the VA hospital, but for the reserve center itself, that's a whole other issue.
I get it.
Talking about sometime about how there's no DoD equities in Erie at all anymore.
No.
About how close. Well, there's the Marine Corps Center there still is up there by the VA, but having the Navy Reserve Center leave. I mean, we've got a couple of National Guard centers around, one in Erie, one out in Cambridge Springs, but by and large, why doesn't Erie have a DoD footprint? It has absolutely crushed me for years when I was working in the Senate. Afterwards, how there's no footprint, how we've got to drive down to the Youngstown Air Reserve Station down there at the Youngstown Air Force Base to go get your CAC card. Sorry, CAC card. Sorry, your CAC reset. Sorry, I'm sure Matt's laughing at that one right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I get it. Well, it's a downsize. I remember the National Guard Armory right there, 6th and Parade Street. I remember as a kid, they had Sherman tanks there, and you could walk up the fence and check them out. And then when I moved back from California, I was in the 1st 112th Infantry at 6th and Parade. Well, of course, they built that big fancy Stryker unit out in Cambridge Springs, and they could land helicopters down there. So, I mean, I get it. That was logistics. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I remember as a kid, the behind the VA going up there, and that's when you could walk into the place and look at all the cool stuff, and you can't do that anymore. But
So, Brian, I think you can put me on the record right now. All those assets out there in Los Angeles, like Camp Pendleton out there, and all those assets out there, they should move them someplace like Erie, that is doesn't have earthquakes, doesn't have the crazy wildfires, doesn't have the the crazy stuff going on out there in LA. Erie's a great place to go. You got a little bit of snow, sure, it's a little inconvenience every now and again, but hey, the military is never inconvenienced by snow, and then if it ain't raining, it ain't training. So.
Well, we have 10th Mountain right over here in New York. That's where they do all their winter training.
You bet.
Not really too far away, And I got to tell you, we had that snowmageddon here, and we had I know if you caught the story. We had the snow on our fire department, and it was collapsing the roof. So Bretton Davis showed up. He brought some inmates from the county lockup. The Coast Guard guys came up. I guess they didn't have anything to do, so they came down, and we literally had National Guards men and women from Pittsburgh. They were stationed up here. The governor deployed them up here, and to help citizens. I had to stop. There was a Hummer in the middle of the road. Two young E4s. I pull up in my Hummer. I'm like, "Hey, you want to swap?" And they're like, "Sure." But they had stopped to help a car, but they didn't have any jumper cables. So I helped the National Guard jumpstart the guy they stopped to help. I said, "Don't worry about it, specialist, former Army sergeant. You guys have a nice, safe day."
Well done, Brian. Well done.
Just little
I
stories.
don't want to take every time, but I know we got a lot of listeners and callers on here. So Harrison, Ken, Matt, everybody, Lance, it's good to hear from you all. I know we got a busy week. We got the big Penn State game tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
It's kind of a split audience here between Notre Dame and Penn State fans. So I'm a big Penn State guy. I hope Penn State wins. So
well, of course, really college football is the only football that's worth a crap anymore. Because I'm tired of these little overpaid whiny babies. They get a stove finger and they have to be carried off in a stretcher. But the best football game in ever all year long is Army Navy. Army Navy, even though Army lost, it's still a great football game.
I was there this year. I took my son down to it, and President Trump was right behind me down there in the bleachers. So my son got to stand up and wave to him and everything. He had a great time. Definitely cold, but there was definitely had a blast. But I will say, I think there was a big mistake in college football this year. They scheduled the championship game on Inauguration Day. So that night, while President Trump's at his inaugural balls, the college football playoff championships going on. So if Penn State wins, they're going to be playing on Monday night down in Atlanta on the night of inauguration. So
that's okay. These new fancy TVs, you can do split screens.
True.
You can do split screens. I just had the remote to my lovely wife. I say, "Fix it." She fixes stuff like that.
Brenda, you are awesome. Thank you, Brenda, for all you do, saving us in times like that where we have these confusing moments of trying to figure out how to watch the inauguration and the Penn State college football game at the same time.
Get two TVs, man.
Thank you.
You can go to Wally Mart, and if you can't do a split screen, just get another TV. They're cheap. Yeah, well, Stan wrote in the room, nurse in the VA emergency room said it was funding and personnel. All the time I've been thinking all the construction that's been happening over the last year. No, the Erie VA, they've been building and building. I just drove by there today, and there's big excavators in the parking lot, so they're ready to do something. So yeah, Stan, thanks for reaching out. Stan, we'll talk because I know it can be frustrating. It really is. I'm trying to figure out if they do dental care at the VA now. I heard they do. I don't know. Go to their website and it's like, oh my goodness, that's a big website.
It's a lot of info on there for sure.
Yeah, but no. So you're officially the major, right?
Still, yep.
Okay, all right. Hey, I just want to make sure. See now, boys and girls, listeners, that's how he got up to see the president. He's an officer. The sergeants are down on the first, down on the ground. No, I'm just kidding. That's always fun thing to do is pick with your officers and the non-coms. That's what they do, and it's a great team. But yeah, thanks for calling, 100%. Man. We appreciate it. You're always welcome to call in and give us stuff that you can talk about. I don't pry. I let you just say what you want to say, and you have a nice day. But man, tell your family I said hello.
Hopefully have some. I definitely will, Brian. Thank you again. Brooke and Madison Lincoln all say hi, and I'm sure hopefully we can have some big news report back in the next few weeks here.
Anytime, every Wednesday night. So. Yeah, except for when we're at city council meetings, giving the Democrats a hard time because they hate our red hats because we're all what are we? We're racist and we're members of the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, keep up the good fight, my friend.
Thank
you,
you,
Brian.
sir. You be safe and keep up the good fight with all the paperwork. I know that's a whole war on its own.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right,
thanks,
Major,
Evan.
you
Take
have a
care.
good night, sir. I salute you.
Thanks, Brian. Sue back. Boom. Yep.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Lance. I've been trying to figure that out because I had my I had a dental hygienist over here, and she was a Marine Corps MP, got out, became a dental hygienist. She was at a private practice. I go to get my teeth cleaned by this Marine MP, and the dentist like, no, she went up to the VA. Okay, thanks, Lance. I appreciate that because I lost my dental care when I didn't get reelected. So, I get my glasses up there. I always walk out of there. It costs me like $40. I have no problem paying it. I do not argue. So yeah, thanks, Lance. I appreciate that. Brenda, you got any more videos for us? And then that way we can kind of start winding this thing down. Cause man, I'll tell you, we just having a fun night tonight.
I have one last one that is long.
That's all right. Play it up. Thank you.
Mr. Drexel?
Here.
Mr. Horton?
Here.
Mrs. Showerman? Here. Mr. Scatella?
Here.
Mr. Winarski?
Here.
Mr. Public?
To Copeland being a baby.
Yes.
I have a motion for. I would like to.
Let me see if there's anyone from the public who would like to speak.
Yeah, I thought.
Pay attention,
Continue, go
Mr. Pretzel.
Yes, I would like to make a motion for the chair for county council. The reason for this motion is I think this person displayed incredible work ethic and leadership as the finance chair. Was probably the most prepared person in the room in almost every single meeting, and I feel like that's somebody that I would like to be, leading the council this year. So I'd like to put Rob Copeland up for chair. A second.
Ms. Chopin?
Yes.
Now, Andre
I'd
seconded.
like to also nominate Terry Scatella for chair for 2025.
Second.
I think there's a point of order. I think there's a motion on the floor. It's to properly second. You have to vote on that before we go to that motion. We should go to discussion just like with any other motion.
Now let's see what Copeland says.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Horton. So we have a motion for Ron Copeland to be appointed chairman, and that was seconded by Mr. Horton. So we'll do a roll call vote on that.
Discussion.
Any further discussion? Mr. Drexel?
Yes.
Mr. Horton?
Yes.
Mrs. Showerman? No. Mr. Scatella?
No.
Mr. Winarski?
No.
Mr. Bale?
No.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Woo!
And that motion fails.
And he loses.
3-4.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Now I'd like to make a motion to nominate Terry Scatella for council chair 2025.
No, second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mrs. Chair. Thank you. Normally I wouldn't make any discussion. I wouldn't I just go with it. This is my last year. So
He
I've
cries
been here
about
11
everything.
years. Last year by far was the most difficult year of the alignment. Bordered on being catastrophic. We didn't put forth anything from this spot.
Under Terry Scatella. No, you didn't.
Recommendations, and that was for DEI and ear care management. We were stunned and stymied at
But you
every
didn't do shit.
turn. The only thing that we had to hold on to was the lawsuit, the drug industry. And so that previous council seen the wisdom in at least putting that lawsuit through. But I've never seen anything last year, irrespective of party. I just couldn't in good conscience support this nomination. I want to be honest up front. Not a sugarcoat. It was a mess. And I'm cheering for the success. I cheered for the success of my chair. It's difficult to make sit here and make this comments. Someone I've known for a long time. I have a bigger obligation. So I cannot in good conscience support that nomination. Thank you.
The most affordable 12-month GLP-1 program with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy. For one payment upfront, 12 months of weight loss by Hers includes 1 weekly injection, app content to help you achieve your weight loss goals, and 24/7 messaging with providers through the Hers app. Start your weight loss journey today.
August 2023. Bod Jeans, Loving Yourself, a simple coffee drink that she made to 93 to 117. I couldn't believe it. I felt like a new person. I could fit a video that shows you everything you need to know. But hurry, this video won't be up for long. The weight loss industry has already attempted to remove
this body had a long-standing tradition of power sharing.
Already attempted to remove this revealing video twice in an attempt to protect their obscene profits. So watch it now before it's too late. Trust me, you won't regret it. This coffee loophole is the best thing that ever happened to me and Michelle, and it can be for you too. Tap the Watch Now button below and get ready to transform your body and life.
Any other discussion?
Sure. I think this
listen.
Actually worse. Pardon. This body had a long-standing tradition of power sharing and rotating leadership. Even the strongest long-time council members ceded power to their colleagues, and I think that really did a lot to build a collegiality in this body. I do not think it was a good thing when the prior chair had been elected to a second term. I think that upset a long-standing precedent. And for that reason, I really feel that we should be in the practice of rotating leadership.
Anyone else?
Wah.
Okay, ready for a roll
Pretzel
call?
Sands are not saying nothing.
Mr. Horton?
No.
Mrs. Showerman? Yes. Mr. Scatella?
Yes.
Mr. Winarski?
Yes.
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
No.
Mr. Drexel?
No.
And the motion carries by a vote of 4-3.
Ha ha.
And at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our chairman, Terry Scatella.
Well, there it is. Copeland had to run away to his safe space because he didn't get what he wanted. Mary Rennie had to quit because she didn't get chairman last cycle. So yeah, it's okay when they do it, but I will say Copeland was a little butthurt that he didn't get chairman, but he got a 7-0 for vice chair, which is basically the gopher for the chairman. They have a little bit of play here and there, but they basically just, we tell them, hey, we need to make this motion, do this here. We're going to ask for this to be changed. We need a first, a second, blah, 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 blah. They're vice chair. So we wanted to play it. It was kind of boring. Sorry for the commercial, but it's a YouTube video and they're tough to edit up. But, we need to get involved, people. We need to make a change. Because if we don't change it, it's going to stay the same. And we're the ones going to pay the price. They voted a tax increase. There was no reason to do a tax increase. They were a couple dollars shy. We have $60 million sitting in a rainy day fund. They could have taken the money out and not given you and me, my mom and dad, the rest of the retired people here in Erie County a tax. But these tax and spend Democrats gave it to you. You got it 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. And for the record, you can look it up, Google it. I did not vote for that tax increase last year. I made that as a campaign promise, and I kept it to the last day I was in office. I did not vote for that. Every proposal they came across the desk, no. Every tax increase, no. Well, can we do that? No. It's all recorded. No. And then, yeah, hashtag we told you so. We told you so, we told you so, and we told you so. Sorry, Stan, commercials. My bad. Take them off the internet, you get what you get. This is my point. Don't buy into this liberal Democrat crap. They are not who they say they are. Every Democrat, well, I'm sorry, Terry Scatella's from here. He's not a carpetbagger. Drexel basically got thrown out of Florida. Copeland's came out of Chicago, and they're here trying to tell you and me that grew up in this town. I was born at Hammond Hospital. And they come in here and tell us how we need to run our city. And why didn't I get reelected? Because I kept their feet to the fire and the Democrats got pissed. They got this Drexel clown to run, which he couldn't even sit there and do his presentation without reading it. Couldn't do it. He can't do it. I have staff members from the county government just tell me they cringe dealing with him because he's so bad. But we got to change this, folks. We got people, city council in the city of Erie that need to go. Let's get them out of there. We have a governor's race coming up here. We need to get him out. He is dangerous. If you don't think he's dangerous, remember what he did to us during the lockdown under the Wolf administration. Go back in history where he had people arrested for going to church. Going to church. But you could go to a restaurant. You could go here. Anybody, I said this once before, Wolf sat in Harrisburg like Caesar. Your business is good. Your business fails. And Shapiro backed him up on all that bullshit. Well, after he got out of office, we were a little heavy-handed. We probably should have handled it different. Maybe we shouldn't have arrested nuns for having church. Freedom of religion is the essence of who we are in this country and why we did it. Why our forefathers did what they did. So I get it. So other than that, I think, Brenda, you want to get our outro video up. I think we're going to go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. My goodness, I was just going to keep it around an hour, but here we are at almost 2 hours. Man, I love you guys. I do. I appreciate you. Brendan, I appreciate you guys coming in here. And let's see. X hasn't moved. Facebook and YouTube. If you guys are on YouTube, do me a favor. Please like and share. You guys are there, but you got to like it. At least like it. Thumbs up, because that helps me get higher search ratings. So I appreciate that. It helps us, we the people. This is a format. This is a forum for us, we the people. We don't listen to any corporate sponsors. I don't have anybody saying I have to do a commercial in half an hour. I got to do news at 9:20. I got to take a break here. No, we can talk as long as you want to talk. Why do you think they wanted me off of county council? Right there. Hey, Yank, he was a two-term. It was two-term. It's the way it's not supposed to be. Because your handler, the chief of the Rennie Raiders, told you so. And she's on the Joe Natale show on public airways saying, well, yeah, I resigned because Shank got chairman. And now she wants to be county executive? That is a joke, boys and girls. She quit when she was a library director. She quit. There's a long reason why. I don't want to get into it. You do the research. She quit being the director of the library. So she got on county council, had to go to court because she lied about her residency, and the judge threw it out, and she was allowed to. She lived in Harbor Creek. And then when she got on council, she was a vice chair. She's a good vice chair. She always had a 5-minute dissertation on anything. She had her notes there. Whatever. Hurt and Horton. Oh my God. The meetings could last a half an hour without those two. Andre Horton wasn't at a meeting. I was out there at 6:27. Business, let's go. So she gets on county council, gets her knickers in a knot because she didn't get chairman because she feels she should be in charge. So she quits. And that started the shitstorm on filling her seat. And they put Rock Copeland up there, shows up to an interview with his cowboy boots and jeans on like he was out, roping horses, which he wasn't. Got some hard decisions to make, folks. And you better get it right because our future, our children's futures, our grandchildren's futures depend on it. I'm tired, but I am not that tired where I will not get out and enjoy the cold. We're doing the back work. We're getting the paperwork done. We're getting the plans together. And when it gets nice out, we'll go knock some doors for Kim. We'll get her petitions signed. We need volunteers, people. We need volunteers. We need money. If you don't think you don't, you're crazy. How do you think they took me out by $200 and some $1,000 of dirty money from DC PACs? That's the only reason why Drexel was able to do it. And Republicans didn't believe that your vote counts. They disillusioned us so hard that your vote doesn't matter. They won. Why do you think we had to just sit through the last 4 years of this worst presidency and the lowest rating vice president in U.S. history and has the same numbers as our soon-to-be ex-guy from Canada? Eh? He's in the 20s. 20s, just like Kamala Harris. Makes a difference, boys and girls. 1,400 votes in Erie County. 1,400 plus votes. Why Pennsylvania went red and why we won. Because they're going to make Harbor Creek great again. Brenda, you want to play the outro? I'm done.
Things were gone. I worked for all my life. And I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Thank you for spending Wednesday night, 2 hours of just things we need to learn. We need to like, we need to share, we need to promote our only real independent voice in Erie County. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but show me someone that is a conservative and does what we do to make sure we, the people, get the right information. We can steer you in the right direction. We don't tell you how to vote. We just steer you in the right direction. And we get out and vote. We have a busy summer coming up. God bless the United States. Everybody stay home, stay safe, stay warm, and God bless. I salute you. Shank out.